So, first of all, I want to thank Rob, because this is a great space and a great venue. So thank you very much for having us here and for putting this together. I know Rob. I make regular weekly appearances at a venue that's in Manassas, which is about 20 minutes from here, called Spirits and Legends on Tuesday. And our group from Manassas and the group from Richmond, where Rob is, we make field trips back and forth between the two to go to each other's venues to support. So I'm sorry more of the Manassas crew couldn't be here. A couple people had to work, a couple people went to go support a feature, so that's kind of how that went. I'm going to do two really short ones, and then one that Rob asked me to do. I'll give you, I don't really do much time to do December, but I might have one at the end. So I'm going to be paper, cell phone, and memorize tonight, so that's how we're doing it.
Multifaceted.
Exactly. Normally I have all my stuff in my head, but the two I'm going to do first are fairly new, so fairly new stuff.
New stuff?
Good practice for me. First one's called Hanging Myself from the Sales Rack When You Don't Know What to Wear. Tonight I want to wear that thing that takes your breath away, or at least makes you say, damn, you look really good. I will only smile shyly and reply, and in my head think, hell yeah, I do. But that isn't on the sales rack. Isn't smashed between red tags and size 18 striking things that can't seem to hug me like you used to. I lay my fingers on shiny fabric frilly things, only to see a woman twice my age holding a matching shiny fabric frilly thing. I want to call you and cancel. Say, not tonight, love, not tonight. Tonight, I want to stay home. The familiar of elastic and soft jersey holding my hips like you used to. Tonight, I'll wear comfortable. You would never die. Never appreciated the effort I took to look pretty for you, to cover up my flaws with something other than bandage material, how willing I am to nail my feet in railroad spikes and call those my traveling shoes. Not tonight, love. Not tonight. Tonight, I will not hang my hopes or myself from these sales racks, surround myself in trends, stain my lips with war paint and hope for cherry bomb kisses. Not tonight, love. Not tonight. Tonight, I'm going to wear comfortable in my own skin. Now we'll switch over to the old trusty cell phone and hope it works for me. I know I don't look it. I'm an 80s baby. So, yeah. I grew up in the 80s, so yeah. People think I'm probably like way younger than that, but yeah. So we did this. As a matter of fact, this came out of Slam Richmond. We do when they have Slam Richmond on Saturday, and that's again one of those events I do with Rob, and they do workshops. And so the workshop prompt was to talk about a childhood story. And so there's some 80s references in here for people that kind of know that era. This is called Clean Up in Aisle 5. My 10-year-old skinny legs cleared the first jump obstacle thingy that stood between me and an empty checkout lane. My mother was paying for paper bags full of stuff, because in the 80s you bought paper bags full of stuff. And nobody cared about the environment, global warming, or whether your paper bags confetti papered on your way home. My boarders line standing behind smelly old people and wanting to be outside in the summer led me and my friend Rosanna Hall to play Chinese jump rope. My 10-year-old skinny legs cleared the second jump obstacle thingy. Mom yelling distractions, smelly old people complaining about kids, and checkout aisle lights off. Third pass. My 10-year-old skinny legs met metal anaconda leg wrap wrestling move. My face, plaster impression kiss on the floor. My front teeth embedded in my poked out bottom lip. My mom, wearing this 50-50 polyblend Bruce Lee dragon clawed mark across her chest, pulled the only thing holding my fallen face together. Watching my chin flap open when I stopped flying. I nailed chalkboard screeches that pulled my 10-year-old ski legs on top of gifts of grocery store conveyor belt, blood swinging, kung fu nunchucks, and Chinese connection hit in sweet face. They tried the quicker picker-uppers, but apparently blue dye number 17 bleeds too. The paramedic shopping carted me away, butterfly stapled my 10-year-old face together 13 times, and I spent the rest of my summer looking like a prepubescent boy. But I wore that, like a Chinese jump rope. And I'm the reason why your childhood isn't fun anymore. Here comes the disclaimer. Rob asked me to do this poem called I'm going to do vodka and orange juice. And I'm trying to keep it clean. There is one, like, whatever, at the very end of this. Just follow me. So this is vodka and orange juice. It's probably not about what you think it's about. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, violet, black, and white. These are the colors of the visible spectrum, and these are the shades of the human spectrum, and these are issues for the political spectrum. But to look at me based solely on the attributes you can see, like my appearance and my speech pattern function, you already made an assumption, which leads us to an inevitable question, which more oftentimes than not puts me on the defensive. And the question posed is this. Excuse me, no offense, but are you mixed? Mixed, as if you're looking for some sort of way to not so colorblindly identify me, confine me inside the boundaries which you think I might be. Break me down to a single color so you can more adequately define me. Mixed, like my hue was some shade of mistake that needed to be fixed, or some of my genetics got baited and switched, because see, I got that good hair, and my eyes are light, and I'm too light-skinned to be all black, and I use contradictions so I sound white. Or maybe, because I got more color in my melanin than the Pantone, you think you can analyze my life based solely on my skin tone. Or maybe you mean mixed, like you think I'm confused, because your rule book says I have to choose one side or the other, put that check mark in a survey box or like it says other. Pick which part of my heritage I choose to ignore, then yeah, I guess I am mixed, like a damn metaphor. See, I often don't know how to answer this perplexing query because the question of my DNA and lineage can't be defined that simply. As evidenced by the fruit of my family tree, you see, my grandmother is the daughter of an Irish immigrant and a black man. My grandfather's Native American. My mother's skin is the color of butter pecan. She's often mistaken for Puerto Rican. My biological father's Creole. My stepfather's Caucasian. My daughter's skin so dark I get asked if she's Ethiopian. Half my cousins are white, the other half are Native Hawaiian, so I guess that makes us the epitome of the Rainbow Coalition. See, we defy your narrow technicolor descriptions because color is simply an adjective and not my definition. And being of mixed race has never been my sin because I was created in God's own image and not defined by the DNA of my lineage. So, I guess that makes me the rainbow, bridging your black and white view of the world with a beautiful shade of light I choose to exist in. However, if you still need a depiction, I guess you can call me a hybrid, because I'm high yellow, talk white, wear black, bleed red, white, blue. See, I am the 65th color in the Crayola box, and I will always color outside the line, and you will never have a box big enough or a label small enough to define me, and I don't even walk in narrow color lines to remind me that I come from this multiracial, multidimensional, multicultural family, and I view my life the same way I view my poetry, through a metaphor-colored prism woven into a multicultural tapestry. So, if after this poem is finished, you still feel the need to break my life down to a single color, remember this. The next time someone asks me, are you mixed? I'll say, yeah, I'm mixed. Well, vodka and orange juice, bitch.
Give it up for Danielle, everybody. Danielle. Taking a trip, everyone, short and long. I know we got all sorts of folks doing me favors so I can pretend that they feel about today, so thank you. I think I shall do kind of my favorite piece for y'all. And then we're going to take it to the last and if anyone wants to get back on after I do this piece, and they coming up fine and we'll be back. They don't take us out so fast. Now, do what you got to do to share it out there. I'm going to do more young people are growing up with only half of their family tree available, and society wonders why we have splintered. An open letter to all of the runaway fathers. When you took the liberty of uprooting your family tree, did you realize you were becoming a burden? Being a man is about showing you responsibility. Our children must always have that ingrained. No matter where you have run away to, you will always be missed, even if you were somewhat of a son of a bitch. To the incarcerated, let me be the one to tell you, behind glass, using a prison phone is no way to call and check on your daughter. Instead of brandishing weapons, you should have been practicing in the mirror, learning to pull the trigger on the words, I love you. To all of those with excuses, your cop-outs are not legitimate. Instead of focusing on these excuses, you should have been working towards solutions. It is no wonder that girls go around with a daddy complex looking to close a void when all you've done is avoid your duty and left them with a hole they feel they need to fill. It is no wonder that sons find family in the life of a gang when you gave up their signs of hope and left them with a hole in their chest the size of a 45 record. They no longer have a heart. And when it comes time to start their own family, chances are they'll dart and become another missing role model. Circles are infinite. That's why it's so hard to break the cycle. Children have to begin to fight with God while they are still so young. Maybe someday you will see your children on television. If it's on top, it's because of you. If it is because of their success, it is in spite of you. Either way. From now until the time your kids grow, you better get your TiVo. Save your Maury Povich and Oprah show so you'll know why broken people need family support and a crusader when at the nadir to the promised pinnacles of their lives. When the stress from the mess you left behind and simply weren't there to help alleviate becomes a fissure of earthquake magnitude and your children crumble to their foundation, remember, it is a product of sin. When the winds begin to howl and the rains come to feed the plants, but instead end up washing away your seed as their roots never could regrow. Remember, it is your fault. I'm about to drop into this last, but I would like to give yourselves a hand for coming out and supporting poetry and Fredericksburg. This will be a weekly show to steal something from my friend Anthony. Tell a friend, and an enemy. Hopefully we'll cure the latter part if they come out and get to see what we're all about, what you are truly all about. So, let's show what we're all about by clapping and doing our best to give it up for Jackson Rodriguez. Please give it up.
Hey everybody. I'm a sophomore in high school, so yeah. Yeah. This is a poem. It's a love poem, but it's like from the perspective of the street, and the street can talk. So yeah, that's kind of like that. The curly-haired one. The one with the dimples and the loud laughter. She is not the same. She walks differently now. The ball player does this to her. She walks so smooth now, nearly flying. You should see her when it rains. She glides over my puddles. I've even caught her singing sometimes. I remember the day the last boy left her. I recall the way she walked then. So much sorrow right in her bones. She cried that whole walk home, you know. Listen to Prince's I Want to Be Your Lover 4 times on repeat, but she couldn't shake her own sadness. I wanted to swallow her whole that day, take her under to be my Persephone. She doesn't need me now, though. She has the ball player, and he makes her sing. I think this is what love is, igniting someone's soul just by being with them. But I wouldn't know anything about love. You know, it's funny. Sometimes her heartbeat feels just like the ball he dribbles. I think it's funny how sometimes they are together even when they're apart.
That was pretty.
Thanks, Daddy. This is kind of like another love poem, but kind of after everything ended. If I close my eyes for long enough, I can still feel the pas de deux of your fingers on my neck. I can feel the grand jeté from my jawline to my clavicle. If I close my eyes for long enough, I can feel our entire 3 acts, even our finale. I feel that part the loudest.
I missed the part where I was talking about how I was working with the Brady Voices team, they're mentioning the under team, and that they're all better than me, and it's really annoying. Yeah, you're fitting the mold. Congratulations. Well, did anyone want another go? No one's turned to hang out, but I'm sure that's because y'all are sitting there respecting the artist. The audience. I'm gonna talk to y'all again because I mean, y'all were right in tune, quiet, respectful, time at the right point. I didn't hear a single cell phone go off. I didn't have to dance to any awful music. It all worked out very well. Sometimes you gotta tell people and get them in line, but someone perhaps who didn't sign up has a poem in their heart. I can do a rap, right? I do want. Yeah. And you also do rap. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So, rapper extraordinaire. Yeah. Everybody.
By a guy who goes by the name of Black Delicious. Time to time, a brother asks why the rhyme is not late to the game. Just simply because I don't live that life. Still picking them rhymes like it's up. But that won't sell because you got to keep it real so that we can feel where you come from. Because the streets are ill. If you ain't killing niggas around, the whole sound's just bubble. I said I won't contribute to genocide. I'd rather try to cultivate the inside. Try to evolve the frustrated get of mine. The devil's in his army never been a friend of mine. But people don't want to hear that shit, says the brother who's obviously supposed to be misled. Now murder, kill, murder. Still, you need to what you're talking about. Shallow days, you never want to let a brother be a brother pulling it into the attic. Hold up, hollow nights. You can't stand it everywhere that we look. People fucking it just seems right. Shallow days, you never want to let a brother be a brother pulling it into the attic. Hold up, hollow nights. You can't stand it everywhere that we look. Something just seems right. I said, don't you know how to be a mutant people? Palms, devour the weed, until we're all just gone and out of steam. And as I catch the time, people look at where I be. I tried to get a job for you, but all the homies said, let's drop the steel. Keep that pocket. Cotton the rut, the cat's around this way, mate. Plus, who can you trust? Said it's all about protecting minds, but neglecting minds to getting left behind. Why don't you change your environment? This is all I know. Plus, my fam's all that I got. I can't go. I said, you got to make it for the band. Damn. I said, I didn't make the ghetto. You got to make the band. Yeah, I'm just jet. Shook my hands to the band. You got to find a way to break this. Shallow days, you never want to let a brother see your brother pull you to the apple. Hold up. Hollow neck. I can't stand it. Everywhere they look, people front and it just ain't right. Shallow days, you never want to let a brother be a brother pull you into the apple. Hold up. Hollow neck. I can't stand it. Everywhere they look, front and it just ain't right. The word peace is just an expression used to say bye when it's time to jet. You know, red, black, and green medallions, it's all just part of the trend, I guess. Hardly ever see them around brothers next anymore. Instead of that, gold gats inspiring gangsters. People at the young age of 4 see more violence from war veterans instead of learning God's law. It's time for a new day, an era in rap copy style, making them aware of the happiness. But years seem more severe for self-annihilation. Somebody might laugh and write the song. Like I'm out here just blowing wind, if they let it stop, it's unreal. Something they can't feel. Keep yelling murder, murder, murder. Kill, kill, kill. I just keep moving.
Word. I see how you like that. Rush to Fredericksburg in the house. I have someone coming back, so I appreciate it. I know y'all will too, so please give it up for Danielle. Danielle.
Real quick, I'm going to do, because he made me think about it when he did his signature piece, I'm going to do mine. The two young ladies that are in high school, well, with you two, you should talk to that man over there. No, really, because on Saturdays, I was talking about Sam Richmond earlier, I don't know if he prefaces, he talked about B&B. If y'all know what B&B is, the Richmond team that went this past year, what are they, like number 3?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like number 3 in the country for youth teams. They took a team all the way to California last year, and I'm pretty sure of the 4. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure a couple of the team members have either aged out or are going to start doing adult slam. So if you guys are interested, you might want to talk to him. Richmond's looking for some replacement people for the team. He talked about John Survivor Blake. He's an awesome coach. I think you guys might want to look into that. I just want to throw that out there before I do this poem. Speaking of slam, Rob, I'll give a disclaimer. I'm going to tell you out. Rob's doing a slam venue, so at some point we're going to do slams here, yay, to take a team to nationals, yay. So that's something else. If anybody wants to slam at some given point, I'm going to throw that out there too. If you guys have no idea or have never seen a slam, it's pretty awesome. It's about the only way you can actually kind of sort of judge poetry, pick random people out of the audience, score them from 0 to 10, you know, tell them how horrible their work might have been, something like that. So just throwing that out there for anybody that wants to come back on. You're doing this every week, Rob?
Yes, ma'am.
On the week, are you slamming every week or not?
You have to have 30 audience members, so once we hang around a bit and everyone networks a little bit with me, we'll do a slam.
Okay, cool. That works for me. Because I'm probably, like I said, when I'm coming back down, and I'll probably bring some of the master folks with me for that. Okay, so not to take up too much time, I'm going to do my signature piece. Usually, again, I don't preface this one. I have to. So I have this piece, and it's called Subversive, and it took me a really long time to memorize this because I do the entire piece, and then I do the entire piece again, but I do it word for word in the verse. And if I don't preface it sometimes, for people who've never heard it, they don't understand what I'm doing, so that's what that is. I'm going to do the whole piece and then basically run it back the other direction. So this is called Subversive. I'm submitting transmissions with a tap my subconscious, trying to will me to submission. A fighting expedition. Loading my submachine gun with ammunition. This is only the beginning. I'm here to complete a mission. I'm overtaking airwaves, subverting subculture, subject composition, subcutaneous supposition. I'm taking aim on this position. I gotta take out the enemy for it to take me out of commission. See, I know too much information. They looked at my location, they checked my subtext, but it got lost in translation. In addition, I subtracted myself from the equation. Time is 1 minute before the invasion. I'm ready to take a stand for 50 seconds of detonation. I won't stop till I completed my objectives. My mind separates from the collective, but the subject is subjective. I'm communicating you subliminal messages, subharmonic frequencies, push the panic button, use only emergency. See, I'm one part poet, one part rebel mercenary, one part, two parts binary. Should my adversary find me, I hid the money in an offshore subsidiary, you'll find the code breaker hidden my obituary. I'm on the run. They subpoenaed the family to get to me, get a message to the masses. They can't subdue me. My fingers on the trigger, and I got a millions of orders, and all these to blow up is to calculate the exact coordinates. Targets all locked. For a genius, mastermind the plot. 20 seconds left on the clock. The countdown, time ticking. If they catch me, I won't submit. See, I have 15 seconds left to transmit. No time to rewind. Rewind. Read back when senior runs the transcript. They tap my phone, eavesdrop on my combos, and all upon the elaborate subplots opposed and what my plans expose, so I start speaking in code. I see them coming, so I hit reverse, return to the depth and stuff. You and I, verse, rewind! Sub, you and I burst the of depth, the true return, reverse the eyes, are coming to see I, code to speaking star eyes. So expose things I want to suppose I, subplot elaborate, the up part of all the compose, my on drop, E from my tap day. Transcripts to run, see, then we're back to read. Rewind. The time no transmit to left seconds, 15 have I submit more I be catch day at ticking time. Countdown the clock, the on left seconds, 20 clock mastermind. Genius girl, locked on target, coordinates exact. Calculation is upload to me, I, all subordinates. Driven the on figures, my me do can't say matches the message to get to me, it gets the family, the subpoenas, they run the on obituary. My hidden record code, they'll find your subsidiary offshore. And the money that hit me find adversary mine should binary, part 2 and mercenary. Verbal part 1, revolutionary, part 1 poet. Part 1 I'm emergencies and only use button, hands to foot. Frequency subharmonic. Messages subliminal, user communicating I'm objectives. The front separates my objective, my completed I, the full stop no I. Detonation to seconds 50. Stand to take the regular, I'm invading level. 4 minutes, 1 is time the equation of from myself, subtract the I addition, and translation and loss got it, but subtext my check day, location my forward looking there. Information much to not I condition of outreach take day before enemy to outtake. Got I position in taking I. Supposition, subcutaneous, composition, subject supposed subverting, airway taking over on. Beginning to only is this ammunition with gun. Submachine, my loading, extradition, fighting on submission. Into me, will to try. Subconscious mind. Tap day, the transmission submitting on, transition submitting on, the girl genius and the mastermind.
Matt, thanks to my new co-host, apparently. Plugging the team, John will be so happy.
Yeah.
And John will also be happy with this next little event about to happen because John Survivor Blake, number one, is a person who has earned his nickname. He's been through a lot of things in his life, and he has emerged an amazing poet. And he will always tell you, running the show